Welcome to GodSpeed. Today we are doing a probability of death game, aka nah, I'd survive that. A little game created by me. I'm going to be basically putting them through a bunch of different scenarios. They're going to tell us how they think they would survive, and we're going to leave it up to fate to decide whether or not they actually survive. But Pierce, Grisham, how are you guys feeling today?
I'm putting deodorant on right now.
Ready to win. Come on.
Okay.
I'm finna win this.
Ready to win? As we all know, I am immortal.
Use my line. Cool. No, use my line.
I am
That's cool.
immortal. I am immortal, so I'm here to win.
You're not going to be immortal, bro. You will die. You will die today. I know that because the way I've set this up, you will die.
All right, let's see. Let's see what you got in store for us.
So I basically wanted to scale up the deaths based on how severe the actual event is, not how likely it is to happen in real life. That's where the scaling factor of it actually matters. So we're going to start off with some very common deaths, some things that maybe one of us might actually die of one day. This could happen. These are more likely to happen.
Hey.
Guys, as you guys can see on screen, there's a little board here, right, with a bunch of numbers. You guys are going to have 20 numbers to pick from, and you guys will be able to pick 6 of those numbers that are safe numbers. If the number that is chosen by the dice roll after the event has started is your number, you survive that event, giving you a point. If you do not pick the correct number, you don't lose a point, you just don't earn one. And the person with the most amount of points by the end of this will win. With that to be said, let's dive right into it with heart disease.
What?
Alright, so the story is this. Pierce and Grisham were competing in a local ultimate fried food festival, determined to try every deep fried creation imaginable. But by the time they reached the 20th booth, Grisham, in a swoop of pain, clutched his chest while Pierce tried to wave down a medic as they both fell to their knees.
Okay.
The
Both.
booth owner suggested they just walk it off, but Grisham turned to Pierce, sweat pouring down his face, and said,
All right.
Pierce, I think this might be it.
That
There's
didn't
your prompt.
happen.
There's your prompt. What are you guys going to do to try to not die here?
Wait, I feel like we're on a team here.
Yeah, I feel like we're trying to help you. Or is it best man wins? So if his best man wins, I'll take over here. First off,
We're both dying though, right?
you're right, but if you die, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we die together, it's like Grisham and friend dies. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? That's what the article will say.
Okay.
It's so ego. What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding. All right,
Ingle
first
boy's
off,
dead.
what I'm doing is I take my health pretty seriously. As you can tell, I'm pretty ripped. So what I would do is immediately, as soon as that happens, I would drink water, get myself hydrated, because guess what? A lot of heart attacks might happen from heat stroke. So I would stop, get some water in me, maybe a prime or two, make sure I'm safe, healthy, and, hydrated. After that, I would get into a fetal position and start trying to violently throw up whatever is in my body. All of the grease needs to leave.
That's
I
the
would be
method.
I will be shitting myself, puking on myself. I will be a drunk white girl for
In
one
the middle
night.
of the festival, bro's just like, oh! There's like fucking just everything just leaks out of every orifice in his body. He's just like leaking oil.
I will lose 10 pounds in 5 minutes.
Bro's just
Okay.
he's just fucking throwing.
Whoa.
The guy at the double deep fried Oreo section is just like, oh my god.
After all that has happened, I will find the nearest cell phone, call 911, and while they're on the way, I will get whoever is near me, one of my butlers or assistants, to get me the freshest fruit in town. That is how I will survive.
All right, you're done. Okay, so your method is just get it out of you. You're just gonna throw it up, try to get it out, and then call for help. Here's how you're gonna try and survive a heart attack that's onset right now. It's hitting you right now.
Okay, so you said I just have a heart attack because I ate too much?
You're on your 20th booth at the fried food festival, and you fall over.
Okay, so first of all, I'm at a festival, so there's plenty of people around. I'm literally just going to get people to help me. As simple as that.
Okay.
Someone will dial 911, ambulance will come, and I'm fine. I'ma live easy, no problem.
Okay. So Grisham's method, get it out of him. You're just like, get someone over here,
Yeah,
pump
get
my
help.
stomach, let's get this going.
And you see, this is the mind sweat difference between me and him is, right? I'm willing to save myself, and he's going to wait for someone else to come pick him up. That's the issue here, right? So, I mean,
There's no issue with that.
You might say that, Grisham, but we have to leave that up to fate now, because Grisham, I'll let you go ahead and pick your first 6 numbers.
Okay. I'm going to start with my birthday, number 11. Then we're going to go number 18, which is my current age. Number 19, which is my next current age.
Okay.
We're going to go number 7.
Okay, 2 more.
And we're going to go... let's run a Let's run 1 and 10.
Okay. Okay. Now, Pierce, your team blue. I want to clarify for viewers. Grisham's red. Pierce is blue. I picked these colors to differentiate. You can pick the same number. Watch. You could literally pick the same number. So whatever you want to do. Just tell me 6 numbers.
Okay. Let's go with 3, 4, 15, 16.
Any
Okay.
reason for those picks?
8, 9. How many
That's
do we
it?
get? How many do we
You
get?
get 6?
Okay, that's it.
6
Yep,
out of
that's
14.
it. Yep.
Are you guys good with these numbers? Okay, so here's what's happening. Right now, final moments. Grisham is actively trying to pump this shit out of himself, and Pierce is like,
Like, that's never working.
and this is what's happening right now. In the festival, everyone's like, oh my god, those poor men. And I guess we'll see who dies. You both died.
What? Wait, and this
Wait,
is...
roll the
this
14.
Is,
You were so close.
Wait.
So Grisham
wait, these are
basically
the
was not even
best
close.
odds?
Grisham was pumping himself. He pumped too hard, probably broke a rib, was like, oh, and probably just died. Food
Yo.
full, just died. Stomach just swelling.
Okay.
Wait,
just
this
over
isn't
here,
fair.
just-
You didn't specify. This must have been a Travis Scott concert, right?
No, this was in fact not Astroworld. You were just at a fried food fair, and you decided that you wanted to indulge in it. And
Okay.
unfortunately, the circumstances point towards Pierce being a little bit closer to life, but it wasn't enough. So unfortunately,
one away.
both of you did not earn a point at that point. So this is 0-0 still.
You're 1 minute away from survival, Pierce.
So,
Literally.
So the dice has to roll on your number for you.
But
then.
yeah, no,
Wait,
it has to be
and-
on your tile.
This was our best odds,
These are best odds.
and we still died. Nice.
Death is imminent. Like these are like death is imminent situations, but there is a chance of living. There is in this
Okay.
circumstance, yes, there is a less than 0.5% chance of you winning, but that still is better than the odds that come up. This
Yo,
is like maybe
please-
40-something% chance.
Please leave the Travis Scott joke in. That was funny.
Do not say that when we're recording. I never want to hear that shit. Leave that,
That
in
was
post. Leave that in post.
Yeah.
that was a
what?
deep conversation.
Wait, leave that in post. Fucking hell. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, reset the board. Okay, moving forward. So no one survived heart disease, so no one gets a point for survival there. We're moving on to the topic that is drowning. Pierce and Grisham rented a small fishing boat for a peaceful day out on the lake. But things quickly turned chaotic when Grisham decided to wrestle in a massive fish on his line. The fish yanked the rod so hard it made Grisham fall overboard. Pierce, laughing too hard to think about it, was knocked off the ship, but he hit his head on the boat engine, which hit the switch as he fell into the water. The boat began to drift further away from both of them.
Okay. Okay, let me go first here.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, if I'm out on the lake, obviously I'm gonna have some sort of shirt, maybe some shorts and stuff. I'm gonna use my clothes and make a pocket of air out of my clothes to keep me afloat. Trust me, this is a real thing. You can actually use your clothes to make a pocket of air to keep you afloat. That's how I'm surviving.
Smart lad here.
No drowning. I'm alive. Easy.
Float out of clothes. I like
Give me a
that.
sec.
What a smart lad. Oh, what's this dude doing?
He's not gonna be able to do it because he's just not smart enough to do it. So
I won't even keep this in, but like when I was making all the prompts, for some reason ChatGPT made Grisham the idiot every time without any input. Like it was like Grisham did the dumb shit and Pierce was the one who was calling for help every time.
Okay. So,
How are you surviving?
why do you run to your closet?
so as we know, I am
You
not
want
one
to
of
come
the
out of the closet today?
not one of the greatest swimmers. So
Hmm.
my strategy is to see what I've seen before and copy and paste. Rock the shades on because it's a bright day out, and I'm gonna keep riding that fish.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep riding that fish all the way to the shore. It is pulling me, so I'm gonna keep going
Yeah.
and get my head out of the water.
Whoa.
And get my head out of the water, and I'm gonna ride that fish. I'm gonna try and steer it in the direction. While doing that,
You're not steering a
simultaneously-
fish, bro. You're not steering a
simultaneously
fish.
taking my clothes off because clothes anchor you down, and so I'm gonna take my stuff off while I'm floating to the shore, and I'm gonna survive.
So you're
Okay,
gonna get
quick-
naked while holding on to a fish and
Quick
hope
question,
and pray
though.
to God it brings you to land.
Quick question though. You didn't catch a great white? Like your fish isn't pulling you around, bro. What the fuck is it?
The fish is probably gonna die out of fear because you're half naked
Yeah.
and you're on top of it.
You
The fish
didn't
is like,
get-
oh jeez, God!
Like
You just start
no
like, dude, that's
fish
your first reaction. You're just
is
like,
pulling you around.
he
Bro.
just whips it out. The fish is like, oh my God.
Does the fish have no teeth?
Okay.
What diameter is the
Fine.
mouth? Pierce, please give me numbers you would like to put down. You have 6.
Let's go 7, 10, 12,
Okay.
15,
All these are
19.
low numbers.
3.
He's got a nice spread. I mean, I see what he's doing here. I
Okay,
think
so
the
that-
method of putting them all blocked together too is pretty important. Grisham, go ahead and pick 6 numbers you think are going to save you while you're riding that fish to town.
All right, so Pierce picked 5 criminal charges.
Terrible idea, by the way.
It's a better
Okay.
number. Are you ready? Give me 1.
Shocker.
You guys really aren't gonna pick the same number. Like never.
Give me 7. Give me 19.
Boring.
And then give me. I've got
You have
2 more.
You have 2.
Okay,
Yeah, you have 2.
give me 17 and 8.
Okay. Okay, so as we're going into this is what's happening. Pierce somehow already made a shirt vest and was just like ready for this, I guess.
And I'm
Clearly,
naked.
my idea is better.
Because he was already knocked out, so he's just like he's unconscious, but he has this vest on him. Hopefully it works.
Like, have you seen? Okay, so have you seen in Fortnite where they when the sharks were in the game, if you cast
You're not catching a shark, little bro. You are not catching a shark.
Dragging you. That's basically the strat here.
We're
But
just
I'm
praying to
naked.
God that he's in Fortnite with him.
But I'm
Alright, well
naked.
anyways, let's see what happens.
They rolled a 4.
Wait,
my
it was
gosh.
so close. It was actually so close to being
Wow.
Because my idea is clearly
Pierce's-
more realistic than riding a
yeah.
fish.
I can't
Pierce
swim anyway.
twice now. Pierce is on the brink of survival, but he just doesn't hit it. It's like the shirt was tied, it started, but then it filled up with water, and he's like,
I think Grisham's outcome was probably the shark that he caught ate him. Did he catch a fish or did he catch a shark? Because if it's a
he
shark, you're
made the
dead.
story up. I don't fucking know.
If it's a
Okay.
fish, no
If it
fish
was-
this big is carrying its own 140 pounds. Like, come on.
120. If I had to swim, I would have been screwed because I'm a horrible swimmer and I will
Oh
drown.
my god. Anyways, we're moving on to one of the most serious ones, and I think both of you actually might suffer from a case of this. We're going to move
Okay.
on to another common death that leads to a lot of people's deaths. This is the death of dumbness. So here's the
What makes you say-
situation.
That's Pierce, bro. Good. This is a good one for the video.
While camping in the woods, Pierce and Grisham decide to hang their hammocks in between 2 big oak trees. Pierce jokingly said, "You're the heavier one, so I'm taking bottom bunk." Obviously as a joke, because he's not. Grisham's not heavier. And then about minutes later, a loud cracking sound echoed above them. Grisham looked up in horror as a massive branch had broken loose from the tree above them, heading straight towards their shared hammocks. So basically, you guys didn't check the trees, I guess. You know, that you guys put your hammocks up, you were hoping for a nice day out in the woods. Unfortunately, half the tree on the top went, and it's coming right down on both of you.
How heavy
So-
is that?
How heavy is the top of a tree?
Lethal. It's lethal.
I think it's killing you. Because think about all the branches that are on trees, that's going to just impale you if it hits you. So how are you somehow going to get out of this situation?
So first of all, of course, Pierce chose bottom. Okay, he's the bottom. Okay, all right. Here's what I'm gonna do. How high up are we? First of all, once again.
Height is.
how
if
high
you-
up?
if you
It's a
just-
hammock, dude. So
Yeah.
like couple. It's not super duper high, but it's high enough to where it's like you are kind of in the hammock. You know how when you're in a hammock,
10
have you ever been in a
feet.
hammock?
Yeah,
10
5.
feet, bitch. What?
Okay,
Who's hanging
Okay.
a hammock 10 feet in the air?
okay.
Don't know
Here's what I'm
how
doing.
you're getting it up there, but sure.
Okay, that's
No,
true
it's
then.
like,
Don't know
dude, it's
it.
enough to where you have to get up on like something and step into it, and you
And
can like
Yeah.
How much time do I have until that branch hits me?
you're getting too specific. I don't know. This is a hypothetical, so you guys
Okay.
imagine that this is gonna
Okay.
hit you if you don't do something.
Okay, here's what I'm doing. As soon as I see that, I will make sure to alert Pierce once I'm safe, and I'm gonna immediately
Okay.
spring out of my hammock and run as far as I can in the opposite direction of the falling tree. Right?
Okay.
So, as in the Lorax taught me, a tree falls the way it grows. Or no, the way it leans. So I'm gonna go the opposite way of the way it leans, and I'm gonna run that direction as fast as I possibly can.
You have an advantage here because you're gonna be the first one to see it above you. Because you guys have hammocks, like the hammocks are like theoretically one's light like higher than the other. You're higher up in the air than he is, so you might see this first. Pierce, honestly, death is imminent, almost. I would say, but we're gonna give this a fair chance and say, Pierce, what are you gonna do? So Grisham's
So-
getting out and running. What are you doing?
I'm not going to use a Lorax analogy, first of all. We're not doing that. So, obviously, a hammock has to go on each side, right? So, the one tree will be falling. I will just go over to the other tree that's still up, and just, like, stay on that tree.
Okay, so you're gonna crawl to one side of the hammock and go to the other tree.
Yeah, and stay on that
Okay,
tree.
I think that makes some sense. Yeah, if you crawl over to the other side of the hammock, the hammock's tied to 2 trees. One of the trees broke off and snapped. You could move over to the other side, and maybe, honestly, in your situation, Grisham's hammock might take some of the hit compared to
Yeah.
yours because his
It
is above.
will.
It's
It
a
So it
will
fucking
could
take
tree.
some of the.
It's a fucking tree.
Yeah, it is. It'll take some of the hit, though, imagine. It'll break some of the fall. So maybe you won't get hit as bad.
Wait, let me just establish, Pierce. You're going to see a tree falling, which, by the way, you're already delayed because you're beneath.
He's not going to see it.
No, hold on. You're beneath my hammock, right? First of all. So let's say I yell, tree! And I'm already standing there with a lemonade on the fucking sidelines, right? You're going to then crawl across a hammock, which, by the way, you ever try and move in a hammock? It swings, and you're like, oh my gosh. Hang on. No. I'm doing the visuals here. And you're trying to get across. Then you're going to get to the tree. Once you're at that tree, how are you going to stop the branch that is falling in the middle of the two trees towards you?
What do you mean?
Your escape plan doesn't make sense. You're going to, like, shimmy over and hope that it doesn't hit you?
Well, if it's falling in the middle, and I'm not in the middle, then it's not going to hit me.
True.
I think I can spring up and run away faster than you can shimmy across a loose little thing that rotates.
Okay, you're higher, though, so you have to get down.
I jump. I'll break my ankle. I'm not dying, though.
Okay.
What if you're running away with a broken ankle and the tree's still coming down the same way you ran? You're like, oh.
Adrenaline will carry me.
He's like,
Adrenaline will carry me. 100%.
Okay,
You won't feel any of it.
I think you've had enough time to debate this. Again, even though you guys can say this, we're going to leave it up to fate to decide whether or not your guys' escape routes actually save you. So I'm going to go ahead and give Grisham the floor for this last round in the common death.
Okay. I'm just literally going to go 14 to 20.
Okay. This was played last time. I think this was a Pierce move. Go ahead and Pierce. What do you want to do?
1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13.
This is interesting. Okay. So we got a left board sweep from Pierce, and then Grisham's playing right low. Grisham's running, maybe breaks a leg. Pierce is shimmying over to the tree and just humping that shit until it hopefully doesn't kill him. Okay, so it looks like it rolled a 14, and it looks like Grisham survived, but Pierce ended up dying as he shimmied over to the other side of the tree. He looked up one last time, and a big piece of cedar just went, boom, dead right down the spot.
Pierce, watch out the tree.
Is that 1-0?
Never mind.
England boys forever!
I'd pour out a cold one for him. Lemonade.
Gentlemen, I think the favor, even though you guys were, 1 for 3 there, so it's Grisham's up 1.
I think we do need to increase the chances of death here.
I think death is imminent, and that means we're moving on to the moderate death category, which means you guys have just lost half of the selection. Now moving down to 10 dice pieces, you guys will be able to choose 3 save tiles, so a 30% chance. A fair third, and I think these are fair for what's going to happen to you guys. 30% chance of living might be even higher than what it would actually be. So moving forward, consider that you only have 3 tiles.
Aren't the odds just the same?
So this one is 30%. I know this one's 30%. The next one is a little bit less, obviously.
No, I understand, but
it's fine. It will make sense. It's okay. You guys, obviously the odds were somewhat fair. It should be fine. You were still able to land one of them. All right. So moving into moderate deaths, we're going to start off with, unfortunately, the most leading cause of most deaths in especially the U.S., but across the world. We're going to move into car crashing. Obviously, this is a serious topic, so there's no general comedy to this, but in this situation, this is a bit different. Basically, how the story starts off was on a late night road trip through the mountains, Pierce and Grisham decided to test the limits of their old beat up station wagon they both decided to buy for a trip. Grisham insisted on drifting around on a sharp turn while Pierce was on the aux, blasting loud music so they couldn't hear anything in front of them. Suddenly, the brakes gave out as they approached a hairpin curve turn. The cliff's edge was fast approaching, and Grisham shouted, "What do we do?" Go ahead.
Okay.
We can start this with,
okay.
I believe
I'm
this starts
going
with Pierce.
first.
Yeah, go.
So, we're going off a cliff, right?
You're going, if something doesn't happen, there's enough space to where if something doesn't happen, you will. But, imagine Grisham's driving, bro, so. Yellow dude, hands up.
You're good.
Pierce, you're in a bad spot because you either just gotta get the fuck out the vehicle or, you gotta get Grisham to work here.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit it. So, the cliff's gonna fly off the cliff, right?
Car will go off cliff. If nothing occurs, that will actually save you, yeah.
How fast are we going?
Say 35, 40 on a windy road at night. You can't
Miles
really see.
or kilometers?
I don't know. We'll say miles, yeah.
Okay.
So you're going a little fast.
So the car's going.
Yeah.
It's off the cliff, right? So right before it hits the ground, I'm gonna press triangle, jump out, and take 0 fall damage, and I'm alive. Yo. Simple as that.
I mean, technically,
work.
Technically, the brakes are giving out as you're going towards the edge of the cliff. We haven't exactly gone over the cliff yet, so you still have time if you wanted to. If you wanted to try and get out, you could still. That's the thing is, you could stay in the car and maybe be safe. We don't know what's over the side of the cliff, but you could also just jump out and maybe get burned to death off of just how fast you're going and hitting the asphalt or whatever's there. So it's a risk of jumping out, or staying in. You can make the choice if you want to stay in and wait to click triangle until you can.
Is turning the wheel an option? Like, can we not just steer and crash into something?
You could, but that could kill you. I guess we'll see what fate thinks. You can just tell me what you would do. You could crash at something going 35 miles an hour, but that might end up killing you.
Pierce, go ahead.
I think he
I
gave
just
us.
said I'm going to do the MLG clutch. Like, I'm not dying.
Yeah.
He has the water bucket. He jumps
I
out, he
have the
spins,
water
he throws,
bucket.
hits the water bucket
Okay,
on
well,
ground.
we've seen Pierce try and do the water bucket trick during the Minecraft challenge, but
God.
I actually barely died in the Minecraft challenge. If
Died.
you've watched that, then you know what happened.
I died a little bit. What are you doing, Grish? Come on, bro. You're in the driver's seat. This is
Yeah.
actually really your fault. I'm going to be honest.
100%. And, unlike this clip farmer right here, I'm actually going to take this seriously because, car crashes are no joke. And you shouldn't mock them.
Why are we...
Why are you laughing? Okay, I think I get it. Yep.
Yo, move away from your fucking mic. The
Sorry.
audience can fucking
Sorry.
hear every single time you breathe in and out. Holy. I think I would do
like,
something
Okay.
dirty.
Okay. What exactly I'm doing
I'd start
here,
jerking it.
Okay.
I'd have
I'm
one,
not going outside. Not like this.
one last one.
Pierce, countdown. Pierce, countdown. The car's just
Alright,
going off the cliff and you guys just... Continue, Grisham. Time is ticking. The car is going towards the edge.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
What I'm doing here is, jokes aside, I think it is best to take my chances at crashing into the cliff rather than the jump off of the cliff, speaking that I am not a Formula One driver mixed with a monster Red Bull. I'm not a Red Bull athlete, as what I'm trying to say. What I'm doing is I'm cranking the wheel to the left. I'm hitting the car on the side of the mountain. On the driver's side, I will take all of the risk because I put me and Pierce in danger from drifting. So if anyone's supposed to die, it's me. With that being said, I'm going to be the hero, save us. We might have some broken bones, but we will not go 100 feet off of a cliff. That is my answer.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's see what passenger Pierce thinks. What do you want to put down for your numbers?
Wait, I have 3,
3 numbers. 30% chance.
6, 7, 8.
Grisham moves. 6, 7, 8? Okay.
6, 7.
Grisham, what were you going to do here?
Okay. I'm going to just go with 1, 2, 3. I think that's a safe roll.
Okay, so we got a little sequencing here. Fine, that's all good. Boys, well, let me tell you what happens. Car's going 35 miles an hour. Grisham's like, yo, I'm just drifting. Pierce is putting some shit on the aux. Probably get hit up by like a shotty or some shit.
Shut up.
He's like looking at his phone. He's looking down. Maybe Grisham's even looking at his phone temporarily. We don't know. But what we do know is that they both died.
Okay.
So evidently, it looks like the car probably just went off the cliff, or maybe Grisham did hit the curb, but the car just rolled anyways off the cliff. So either way, Pierce did get to eject out of the car, but it wasn't by his own choice. He just probably fucking went flying out the front. And then Grisham, you probably died on impact, I'm being honest.
So I'm guessing Pierce had input delay and he forgot to press the button at the right time.
He did not have glider redeploy. Unfortunately, it was not in the season, so he did not get that choice. So yeah, car hits curb, probably Grisham went, boom, died. And then car rolled off, and Pierce just was like, whoa! And it's like, it just ejected him out, and he went flying over. Well, speaking of dismemberment, sometimes when you're swimming in a big pool of water, aka the ocean, there's these things called sharks that like to come by. Your next one is going to be an attack by a shark. Now, statistically, again, this doesn't happen very often fatally, but you guys are in a situation where this could. Here's the story. Grisham and Pierce decided to try surfing out for the first time, renting boards and heading out into the ocean. While paddling out, Pierce spotted a shadow beneath the water. I think we should head back, he said nervously. Grisham, oblivious to what he saw, started singing the Jaws theme just to make fun of it in light. But suddenly a shark fin broke the surface nearby, and both swimmers fell into the water out of fear. You're both now in the water with a surfboard. You both have a surfboard. You're in the water, oiled up, on a hot summer day, and there's a big old shark in the water that potentially could take a bite out of you. It hasn't done it yet, but you guys are in prime condition to be eaten here.
What I am doing here is last man, every man for all. I will be taking the sharp part off of my surfboard, and I will viciously cut Pierce's. I will viciously cut Pierce's face with it. He will start bleeding. The shark will lead to him. As soon as Pierce is bleeding out and getting attacked by the shark, I will swim to safety. Once I'm at safety, I will let the lifeguards know that there's a dead guy in the lake. I did my part.
Okay.
There is a sharper part. Well, first off, lakes don't have enough waves to surf, so that you weren't in the lake, you were in the ocean. But second off, Grisham's right. There is a little part on the underside of a surfboard that you probably, I don't know if you could break it off that easily, but maybe out of pure rage and anger, you could go. But yeah, you could probably use that. So you're saying you'd mutilate Pierce enough to the point where he was the prime beef wagyu that the shark would just go. Pierce,
Okay.
how do you
So,
respond to that?
First of all, we're in the water, so no matter if Grisham has his sharp part of a surfboard, you're in the water. You're not getting enough motion to stab me and cut me. Like, that's just not happening. Like, that's not happening.
You're right. But I will say, we're not underwater. We're still floating.
Bobbing, yeah. But Grisham's not a good swimmer, though. Pierce, you got to take advantage of it. He literally said he was not a good swimmer in the last one.
I am a level 5 swimmer, just to clarify. So, I could outswim the shark if I wanted to.
So what I'm hearing is you could probably just punch Grisham and just dip.
No, so any smart person knows if a shark is coming at you, first thing you do, you punch it in the eye. If you hit it in the eye, they'll go away. So I'ma hit the shark in the eye, it will go away. It might even be like, okay, this guy, don't fuck with him, I'ma go for Grisham. Grisham's dead. So
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
And I did think about that, Stripe, but my only question is, if I can't cut you in the ocean with a surfboard, how can you punch a shark in the eye with that much force?
No, bro, you don't need force. If you hit it in the eye, it doesn't fuck with you.
Okay, but this is what your punch will look like on land. Now, in the water.
Nah, bro. I'm quick.
There is a method to attack a shark underwater. They say also if you shove your hand in its gill, like on its side, you can start just making it choke because it can't breathe. It's like, but there is that. Also, by the way, I want to clarify: most sharks, honestly, they might not even eat you, like straight up. It might just take a bite out of one of you guys, and you just die of blood loss because they do it out of fun and out of curiosity of what you are. They don't know what you are, so they're just like, and then they sometimes leave, but sometimes they'll be like, "Damn, that shit was good. I'll go back for seconds." And then they eat the whole damn thing. But
before we do, we haven't done this yet. Out of those two options here, I'd like to hear from the judge himself. Which one do you think would be the best bet to survive?
I think yours is dumb because you're just chumming the water. So you're telling me you would cut open another person and let a bunch of blood out so more sharks be like,
yeah, bro, you're cooked.
You're chumming. You know what chumming? They dump literal organs in the water, and if you're in the water when they're chumming, it doesn't matter what's in the water. The sharks just go. They can't see because of blood, so they're just going. So it literally would just be going around in the water with its mouth like this. More than likely, your bitch ass is going to be ending up going in there as well because you're just sitting there like. Right. Also, you might get blood in your eyes too. If you get people's blood in your eye, you'll be blind. Like you can't see for a temporary. Imagine you get something in your eye and you're like you can't see, so you'd just be swimming blindly.
You're cooked.
You'd be cooked. So, and Pierce's is also technically an issue because I do agree in the middle of the ocean. I don't know how you would punch something, but I will say that's how they say to do it. And also they also say if you're wearing anything shimmery, take it off. None of you guys said that. Maybe stripping down naked against the fish would have worked here, Grisham, a little bit better.
I'm not wearing nothing shimmy in the ocean, dude.
I didn't want to get naked because I didn't know if the sharks like sausage. So
it's true. But I guess they'll get a taste. I don't know.
They might like baby sausage though from you. So.
Or cheese, right? Or cheese.
Realistically, Pierce's makes more sense, but yours was more entertaining. So I'd say that's a more entertaining idea to just attack your best friend to death
seems
in front of a shark. The shark might not even attack you guys. We don't know yet. You might just get out of here without doing all that, but we'll see. Go ahead. I want to say this is Grisham.
Me. It is.
Yeah, Grisham. What's your 3 tiles?
Okay, so there's 2 of us, so I want number 2. I want number 6, and I want number, let's say, 5 here.
Okay. So you've locked in 2, 5, and 6, and that leaves Pierce with 3 numbers. What do you want to pick?
10, 4, and 7.
Okay. All right. Little diverse options here. We'll see what happens. So in this very moment, you have fallen in the water. That is all we know. Nothing has happened yet, but when we roll the dice, we'll see what happens.
No way! That's bullshit.
Let's go! I told you. So I gouged you apart, and the shark went to you.
You're not
away on time.
First of all, you're not gouging me apart. If we're fighting, I'm mauling you. Like, that's just, you're not killing me.
Actually, I'm curious, who do y'all think would win that? Because if Grisham even decided in that moment, imagine that being your first reaction. Grisham, that's your first reaction in that set. That's crazy, bro. That's like pent-up anger, bro. Your first reaction is not like, let's try to see where the shark is together. Yours is just like, I'm going to break this shit off my surfboard and kill my friend of over 10 years.
That wouldn't be my actual reaction, but I just thought it'd be funny to say.
Okay, well, anyways, Grisham survives by killing Pierce. Pierce, unfortunately, bled out, was probably eaten in the ocean. So that's 2-0. We still have a lot to go, though, so there's still time. Next, we're going to move on to something, again, now, a lot of times, if you guys hear, this thing would do actually, it's more likely for this to happen than a shark attack. We're going to be talking about vending machines. Apparently, the odds of dying to a vending
What?
machine falling on you is a bit more likely than a shark attack, according to math. But we have a little situation to bring today. So it looks like the vending machine accident starts off with Pierce and Grisham at the gym. They both wanted to grab a snack from the vending machine. Grisham's granola bar got stuck, so he decided to rock the machine back and forth while Pierce was going in to grab his from the tray underneath. Pierce tried to stop him, yelling, "Dude, that's not a good..." And as that happened, Grisham gave one final shove, and as they look up, the machine is starting to sway this way completely.
Pierce, go ahead.
Pierce, you're a little bit bent down. You're kind of like you were grabbing.
I feel like I have the disadvantage here.
A little bit. Unfortunately, Grisham was just being an idiot. But
clearly, I've been hitting the gym. So as the weight shifts to the front, I am gonna fucking bench press the bottom of it, and I'm chilling. Like, I'm not dead.
I like how the simpler option is for you to just roll this way or
No,
roll. You can literally
I'm
just
lifting it up.
roll.
I'm lifting it
It might
up.
get your legs. You're gonna lift the shit up. Okay, so Pierce is gonna lift up a fucking vending. What is the average weight of a vending machine?
Whoa! I'm lifting up half the weight though, because like the
That
weight,
is-
the weight transferring. It's
You're lifting
transferring
the
over.
base of it. You're lifting the
No, but
base of it.
Yeah, the heaviest part
But
was probably the
it's falling.
refrigerator. Okay, so Pierce is gonna bench press or not even bench press. He's gonna fucking be like just squat and
Come
push
on.
upwards on the back end of the machine. So you're only pushing about half the weight, but unfortunately, usually the bottom half is the heaviest part. So maybe like 400 pounds, maybe. But for you,
Light work, no
that's
reaction.
light work. That's light work, no reaction. Grisham, you're a little bit higher up, maybe not at a full stance, maybe not ready for what's about to happen, but you were shaking the machine, and now you're kind of like looking up at it as it's going this way.
Yeah.
How are you going to prevent this from killing you?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, as this is falling, pretty simple answer. I'm going to yell, "Pierce, let's catch this." And I'm going to put my hands on the top where it's rocking to lean and tip over towards me. And I'm going to push as hard as I can, plant my feet in the ground, and shove that shit back up. Save the both of us.
Okay, a little working together. So last time
Yeah.
you killed him, but this time it's like,
So-
hey, let's do it together.
I mean,
We're
it's 600 pounds.
We're
It's
both
600 pounds.
thinking lift it.
I think if it's 600 pounds, and on top of that, it's leaning against me. You guys ever have like a treadmill, and you know how you kind of like, it's on wheels, so if you're trying to move it, you kind of have it lean against you, and then you can roll it around?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's one of those things where if it's leaning against you, it's not fully tipping yet, so it might be at that point where there's not that much weight at the top rather than the bottom, and I think we could just tip it back.
Okay, I respect that. Pierce, why don't you go ahead and pick 2 numbers on the board? You have or 3 numbers, sorry. You have a 30% chance.
2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay. Since I am with Pierce here, and I'm trying to help him out, I'm going to go ahead and pick 2, 3, 4 as well.
Whoa. Okay.
If we die,
Okay.
we die together. But if we win,
This
we
is like
survive.
Survivor's Guild from the last one. Like somehow in this universe, you're like you know what happened.
Yeah.
if he came back to life, I would feel guilty and I'd save his life this time.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so they're both locked in at 2, 3, 4. Vending machine is teetering. It's on that little last thing. If you ever have pushed something over, it's like, oh, it's about to fall over. Grisham wide-eyed, arms pressed up against it, like this, trying to hold it. Not sure yet what to do. Pierce is grabbing his fucking shit, looks up. He's like, oh, damn. Let's see what happens.
That's crazy. Okay.
Shit.
So, unfortunately, Grisham's arm snaps inwards.
Yeah.
Bones go right through the fucking shoulder. He's like, oh! And, like, it's like some Final Destiny shit. Pierce is like, oh, no. And then all of a sudden, right there on the spot, squished by a bunch of
Doritos.
Doritos.
Yeah,
And
dude.
probably, like, shitty-ass honey
Jesus.
buns. Machine falls over and honey buns just goes all over the floor, but there's a big pool of blood. We're going to move into the last one, which is a bear attack. Which basically what's going to happen here is you guys are out in the woods, and you guys are both, let's just say you guys really love making sure you have enough food on you. Because, like, who the hell wants to go out hunting and not have food on you? You guys have, like, some beef jerky. Pierce made sure to bring, like, some good snacks.
Some peanuts.
Some peanuts would be crazy. He just brought, like, you guys brought a lot of food on you, so you guys are very well equipped. But at the same time, on the same token, you guys do end up running into what appears to be a bear. Now, you have a bag full of snacks. You also do have, let's say, some bear mace. You do have a little bit of it, but not really enough to, I'd say, to deter it completely from attacking, just enough to maybe keep it away for a little bit. But let's just assume that you guys are here in the woods in an open field. I want to clarify that. Kind of like an open field. It emerges out of the woods there and sees you, and it's like, it starts running at you, and you're like, "Argh."
Grizzly bear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In this part of the storyline, it is coming that it is a grizzly bear. Probably the most ferocious one. Like, you look at it and you see that scar on it, you know this thing has been through a couple things.
This was the cocaine bear. Like, this is
pretty much. Like, this one has definitely, you can tell it's fucked up some shit in its life. Like, this is like the bear that you don't want to run into in the woods. But he's here, and he's like, I'm hungry as hell. I haven't etten lunch yet.
Okay.
You guys look pretty good. So he's pulling up.
Yeah.
There's a couple trees nearby, but for the most part, you guys are in kind of an open field with a bag of snacks and some fucking, bear mace. A little bit, because you came prepared.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna establish our ground. We're gonna start yelling really loud at this thing, because there is a slight off chance with bears that if you scream at it, they will get intimidated and turn around. So we're gonna start screaming at this thing. I'm gonna then say, Pierce, hit it with the bear mace. As he's doing that, the bear is then in the air lunging at me. I'm like, all right, it's lunging at me, right? And as it's coming towards me, we start fighting this thing.
Okay.
After it's been hit with the bear mace, it's a little bit blinded. It's like, oh, it's maybe pissed off now. And as we're fighting it, I'm going to shove my arm down its throat. I've seen before on TikTok at like 3 a.m. that if a grizzly bear or any type of bear attacks you, you should stick your hand down its throat, because apparently it has like a gag reflex and it'll run away. So I'm gonna put my arm down its throat and I'm gonna keep it there while Pierce is on top of this thing, fucking pummeling that shit. And then he's got a little chokehold for a bit, squeeze some oxygen out, boom, boom, boom.
What fucking side of TikTok are you watching where people are gagging out bears?
A lot of Joe Rogan.
So shoving your hand on a bear's throat, which, mind you, I feel like the bear would just paw you at that point, and it would just tear your whole entire organ system
100%,
open.
But that is actually, like, you can factually search it up. That is the best way to survive a fight with a bear, is stick something down its throat.
Just anything. Oh, God, we need something big, like maybe like 12 inches. What's going to stop this bear right now?
I saw in the news once there was these 4 high school wrestlers that ended up beating this bear in a fight. They came out very, injured and scathed up, but they did end up beating this bear.
Pierce, what are you doing to stop this bear from turning you into its lunch?
So if the bear's coming after me, let's say, I have seen the story Grisham was talking about, and the one guy said, like, the bear was on him, and he uses one arm to, like, protect the neck, almost, you might lose your arm, but if the bear is distracted on your arm and not going for your neck, your organs, stuff like that, I'll distract the bear. Grisham will maybe get the mace or whatever, bear mace, and spray or whatever the bear.
Or run.
Maybe even, if it was fucking hungry, get some fucking snacks, try to lure it towards the snacks, and then we can run away.
Okay.
So I might lose my arm by it, like, gnawing on my arm, but if that's what I have to
live,
survive,
though, so that would make sense, yeah.
So
you would
I gotta survive.
I think someone gets scathed. I think someone gets pretty injured, but maybe there's an opportunity where where you both you might live, both of you might live, both of you might not live. I guess we'll see. Let's go ahead and have Grisham pick his number first, and then Pierce.
Okay, so there was 4 of those wrestlers that did fight off that bear, so I will go with lucky number 4 here, and hopefully that hits.
Okay, Pierce, and where do you see yourself in this mix?
I'm gonna go 2.
You said number 2? Okay, so we got Pierce at number 2 and Christian at number 4. I promise for the viewers at home, I have nothing to do with this. I literally have nothing to do with this at all. Whatever happens, happens. Best of luck, gentlemen. I hope the bear was looking down with a nice face and just left you guys both alone, but we'll see. All right, you guys both died.
Okay, we both died. Okay, so.
Well, all right. So
why
I mean, like,
is he taking off?
Yes!
Dude always gets naked for content. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, there's no need for that.
Wow, really humble, Grish. Good job, buddy. The winner today is obviously Grisham. Like, I can't make these numbers up. Like, I literally can't. There's no way
I
to.
missed out. What's good?
I'm just saying, like, congratulations for winning, but at the same time, like, god dang it, I literally could not change anything. So
You can mark it in the history books. Grisham House was the first ever winner of any GodSpeed video. So I'd like to just say, the first ever GodSpeed winner.
Okay.
I'd like to brag about that.
I was also, like, first house, and Pierce was also, like, last place, so we all got our first today.
And
we'll get our
purely luck. There's no skill.
It was all luck based, but It works. But yeah, anyways, that's all I got.
It's all RNG based. Like that wasn't unfair. It's luck.
It makes it like funny, almost like Grisham just kept winning.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for today's episode of Godspeed. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this far. I appreciate it. Again, these are longer episodes with games and some other stuff, and this one actually went for like 2 hours, but I just chopped it down to something that was a little bit more reasonable. If you guys couldn't tell what was happening, I do want to apologize. This was our first time recording. Even though it's the second video, this was our first time recording. So we were still kind of learning how to sort of interact in sort of a discussion platform. This is one of the tester videos that we did a long time ago that ended up making the cut. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. And if you guys liked it so much, please subscribe, leave a like on this one, and comment down below what other scenarios we could maybe try to survive. Because there's so many more we could try to do. It would be really cool to do another one of these episodes with just a bit more formatting. But that's all I got. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and if you guys did, I'll see y'all in the next one. Godspeed.